Hey y'all, my name is Vanessa Ortiz, and the two topics that I chose for my language demonstration project are activity based language intervention, or you'll see it on some slides abbreviated as ABI, and also bilingual populations, or ESOL, which stands for English Speakers of Other Languages. So, what is activity based intervention? Activity based intervention, or ABI, is basically, not to sound like a play school commercial, but learning through play, providing a type of activity as a form of intervention to help children learn and grow. Um, as John Dewey, the American philosopher and psychologist, said, humans learn through hands on approach. This John Dewey was drilled to me uh, as an education major. We were constantly being told, children learn best through hands on approaches, through playing, through doing activities. That's part of the reason why I chose the activity based intervention. What does activity based intervention look like? Well, it basically any kind of activity that would grasp the child's attention. It could be storytelling. It can be, not just storytelling, but like coming up with your own stories with pictures, dressing up, playing pretend. I know I've previously had a client who we would pretend to be ordering food from each other. Any type of arts and crafts activity. Sometimes you can go for walks and, have the child describe things, and speak about things, use that as a way to have them listen and observe music, movements, and games and puzzles. One of the most obvious benefits of ABI is that you're gonna more than likely have participation from the child. If they're up and moving and having fun, playing a game or doing something with movement, they're more likely to participate versus just writing or just reading something or just flashcards. Also, if you are working in a home health setting or even at a school setting, you can try to create activities that also integrate daily routines. So maybe, clean up, picking up after yourself or, getting dressed. What do you do? How do you get ready for the day? Um, any kind of routine activity. Um, and my personal favorite benefit of using ABI is that we're going to help build the child's social skills. I feel like many of the kids that we'll see may struggle with their social skills because of their language disorder that they have may make them shy, quieter, reluctant to socialize, or they may, also be on the spectrum. So I feel like being able to provide therapy that also incorporates improving their social skills is just beautiful. So, for me, I feel like activity based intervention can be done with various groups at various severities. Since it is basically a form of play, you can do this with, a toddler all the way up to even maybe a middle schooler. Um, so you can do all these activities at all severity levels. Now, specifically for my presentation, I did choose to focus on the bilingual population. Um, a way to kind of adapt those activities to be more culturally appropriate for bilingual students would be maybe finding ways to incorporate their home culture. So if you're reading a book, maybe find, if it's a Vietnamese child, perhaps one that depicts a Vietnamese child in the book, or a picture of a Hispanic child if you're, talking about Hispanic population. And also, you may want to try to connect what you're doing to their personal experience. So, for me personally, I get asked all the time, like, what does your Thanksgiving look like? And what does your Christmas look like? Because I am Nicaraguan, but we're Americanized to where my Thanksgiving and Christmas looks just like everybody else's. But perhaps, the child that you're working with, it's not the same case. So you would want to maybe find things that they're going to say, oh, yes, we have this at my house, or yes, we do this at my house as well. Some way to connect their home into whatever activity you're doing. Another thing is that whenever it comes to directions, you may want to incorporate visual images, vocabulary support, and don't never underestimate the power of body language and gestures to get children to grasp if they have limited English. So, I wanted to add a slide with just a little extra information about language errors when working with bilingual populations. Prepositions is typically a difficult one. I currently work with ESL middle schoolers, and they struggle with in and on. So they'll say, I need to put my backpack in instead of I need to put it on. Um, Multi-purpose verbs, grammar and syntax, vocabulary and semantics. Um, I'm sure most of you are aware or have known this, or probably, I don't know, have witnessed this, where in Spanish, instead of when you describe something, you'll say, in English, you say the brown dog. And then in Spanish, it's reversed. So it'd be the dog brown. So a lot of times, children make that error when writing. Also, you have in Spanish, their words are feminine and masculine. So um, you kids kind of have a hard time grasping that you don't have to do that in English. So for my language demonstration, I chose the book Brown Bear, What Do You See? I wanted to choose a book that I felt is very commonly found or easily found at schools or places where there are children, like a child setting, perhaps a daycare or clinic that serves children. So Brown Bear is pretty simple. It's colorful. Um, you can work on describing the colors. So for this book in particular, I feel like you would probably use this more so with an early childhood to maybe early elementary age. I think that this activity of, describe to me or reading, creating our own stories. All of this can be done with all populations, but in my presentation, I'm going to be focusing specifically on bilingual populations. So if I had a 4-year-old child who was bilingual, Spanish speaking at home, and was fronting, we have a green frog, and we can remind the child to use their back sounds whenever producing the word frog and green. You can read the story with them, or if not, just pick out various things to point, or can you show me the frog? Can you show me the Sheep, is this a goat? No, it's a sheep. Um, so this is a fun book. I feel like it's very easily found. A way to adapt it for bilingual children is you could always translate, maybe have in Spanish the word café or marrón, have the word oso, have rojo, just to kind of help adapt it for a Spanish speaker. Now, um, another story that I wrote on my presentation or book is Coqui in the City. And this is just a book that I have. Coqui is a Puerto Rican frog. And this book is, if you could see the Puerto Rican flag there. So this is basically depicting the story of a Puerto Rican child. Um, and although this would be a more complex book than using Brown Bear, I love the colors in it, the color schemes. And it's also very, it gives me like Where's Waldo vibes. So although you don't have to specifically read the story, it's a really good book that you can use to, ask them to point, show me, where is the bike? It's a really good book. And it also would tie into the child's culture because here he goes to a panaderia, which is a bakery in Spanish. So I really wanted to share that with you guys. And here are my references. I hope you enjoyed my demonstration. Thank you.